This podium top looks like a mask. Thank you for those smiles. I'd like to start by reciting a little poem by someone else. And tonight I think I'll start with a little poem of Thomas McGrath, which has no title. And it goes like this. How could I have come so far, and always on such dark roads? I must have traveled by the light shining from the faces of all those I have loved. Thomas McGrath. I'm going to read 5 or 6 short poems about people, and these are all people that have been in my life for one reason or another, sometimes family, sometimes in films I've made, sometimes a neighbor. And I'll start with a short poem about my grandma, my father's mother, May Hazard. She was Miss Safety of Michigan one year. There we go, yeah. It goes like this. The blue-haired moon. Your belief in the one above made us get down on our knees and close our eyes. The sacred heart of your faith is a prize of prayers and praise. By the great horn spoon, good night, Grandma, and do not cry, please. I promise, by the blue-haired moon, we will always hum and sing your lullabies. The blue-haired moon. The great horn spoon was something that she said all the time, and it often enough that it just became part of my language. And then I was visiting Mackinac Island, looking in a museum, and there was this thing called the great horn spoon. And it was just a carved antler horn, the great horn spoon. One of the reasons I love making movies is you get to live inside other people. You get to look at the world through their eyes, and it's not just the subject of the film, but the friends of the subjects of the films that you get to meet. And one of the films I made is a film about the writer Jim Northrup, and I was chasing Jim for 6 years before we finished the thing, and I got to know some of his friends. And one of them was a fellow named Walt Brissett, who is now passed to the other world. Walter was a very interesting activist at Red Cliff in Wisconsin. And this is a poem called Burning Desire. He was a chubby Chippewa with a sacred fire in his belly. One night on the phone, while hearing how he came to have the serious duty of keeping Black Hawk's war club, my house began to smell like burning rubber. I finally had to get up and go look around. The moment I hung up, the acrid odor of burnt rubber disappeared like smoke. The fire was in the telephone. Ogichida Anishinaabe, Walt Brissett, a.k.a. Macoons, Toivo Karhu, and Bubba. elfin leader of the ALF, Anishinaabe Liberation Front, buddies with the Dalai Lama and Huayna Buddha, who signed his letters X, like a treaty, who used Black Hawk's War Club to count coup in a war for the sacred fire for the next generation, cried on the phone, "I'm not burning out. I'm firing up." He was a chubby Chippewa with a sacred fire in his belly. Walter. Walter, Walter, Walter. I was going to try to be a little crazy with myself and read a long poem, long for me, about 200 lines, about Thanksgiving. It's called Thanksgiving Grace. And I work on it at this time of the year every year, and so I was working on it today. And this book has a couple of little passages that I've taken out. And I did work on it a little bit, and then I chickened out. And I thought I'd keep to my 9 minutes and read two poems from that poem, Thanksgiving Grace. And this is one of them. It's called Silver Tongued. And it's the part of the poem where we're saying grace before Thanksgiving feast. Silver-tongued Carl was always called on to bless the family meal at holidays. In a well-rehearsed ceremony of hijinks, he teased, always pretended to refuse, was perhaps rehearsing silently, when all at once the old Swede would bow his silver hair and out'd pour a prayer in the song-singing language of the old country. Silver-tongued Carl. One buddy told me it's gonna be on YouTube. Go spicy. So 2 little short spicy. Spicy's Thanksgiving. No, it's not. It's not. Stiff as a goat. This is called Stiff as a Goat. True story. Whenever I pour a brandy, it's usually very late, and I think of neighbor Fran, the older woman down the hall, the farmer's daughter, who wanted to make me stiff as a goat. Stiff as my polite refusal was, I still enjoy the way she praised my honor and my wife's luck, and how we clinked our stiff drinks. Cheers. In fact, that affairs carried on way past that bedtime, way past her deathbed. For ever since, whenever I pour a brandy, I toast horny Fran, stiff as a goat. Thank you for those giggles. This is a poem that I love to read about my sweetheart, and it'll be the last one, even though I'm supposed to read one for the almanac, which I love and I appreciate for bringing me here, but I can't not read this one. It's called High on Hyacinth. High on hyacinth, I whistle and hum. In your hands, Tressa, I am handsome. We make love like there is no tomorrow. We fit together, made for each other to make love. When we were falling in love, we made love every perfumed night. Everything I knew about my body was not true. In your hands, Tressa, I am handsome. High on hyacinth, I whistle and hum. Okay. Now, since Lori is not here tonight, I'm going to read one more, just so I do my almanac duty. This is called "Blessed for Life," and this is the poem that's in the new almanac. It's short. Blessed for life. A wild-looking man I don't know from Adam begged a ride from the P.O. to the Dorothy Day Care Center. He's jazzed about a Thanksgiving feast, with a shock of hair like a thundercloud. He looks like an Old Testament prophet. He got out and paused next to the window, standing so I can't see his face. I was blessed for life when a rich voice said, "This world is not altogether bad." Thank you. Thank you.